So can you share with us some Swatch pictures that get better results than others?
Yeah. So yeah, it made me think of a few as you were talking there. So I mentioned already the icons, right? And so those weren't pictures; those were literally like stock image type icons that were all the same style, right? That the designer made, and it was again like a banana and I think blueberry. I can't remember the exact flavor names were, but that looked very neat, and it was almost like an animated style kind of thing, right? Another one that we've actually seen before, and I thought to our team like, oh, we should maybe leverage that was someone actually put in the Swatch image, they made a image of just text saying what the count was of the pack size. So it was a 6 pack and a 12 pack, what have you. And so the Swatch image actually just said 6 pack, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, that is genius, right? Because again, it shows up much bigger too than just the little text of the 6 pack or the 12 pack in a standard variation set, right? It looks great on mobile. Another one, we recently talked to a brand. They're in the pet space, and they have like these, special towels, for dogs that come in wet and muddy. And I have 2 dogs, so I definitely understand the need. And we have several of those towels. And but this brand had all their main images of each product were the towel and a dog with the picture in the picture as well, right? It was a white background and everything, but obviously it showed when to connect it was a dog towel, right? Not just a towel. And so it was able to show that. However, that was their main, so they didn't do any swatch images. And so for all their little swatch images, especially on with a desktop or mobile, you're just seeing like the picture of the dog and the towel. And so it's even on desktop, it's really hard to view what the actual color is. If someone's, even though you can hover over that or maybe see the text of the color, it's really hard to view what that is. But if I'm just looking it up, 7 different options of different colors, I know, oh, perfect, I want the blue one, right? Or hey, I want the brown one because it's going to match the kitchen or whatever it may be, right? So those are 2 great examples right there of just maximizing your variations. And like you said, flat files are an excellent way to do things. They don't get enough talk probably, and I think the general public or doesn't understand, or just the general Amazon seller doesn't understand that how powerful the flat files really can be.
Yeah. You know, flat files are, Amazon doesn't make things easy, as you know. So they get more and more and more specific templates based on
Hmm.
the category, and the more fragmented they are, the better for Amazon, because they can hone in on specific kind of information, which does not help because there isn't one answer. Everybody's file is different. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter. Just go download your template from your existing listings, open it up, and inside, just do a search in the whole sheet. Swatch. You're gonna end up in one place. It's not in too
Hmm.
many places. So that's where they can find. But Ryan, where people struggle the most is putting their image up on the web,
Yeah.
because putting things in Dropbox and other places doesn't work. That doesn't, Amazon does not accept those. So it has to be something that is hosted, publicly accessible URL for that image. And that's where I'm finding that people just, they think, oh, is this is a website? How do I put it there? And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
become,
There is a great little, I can't remember the name of it. Let's see if I can find my bookmarks or whatever it is, but like there's a great little site that takes a Google Drive URL. They have to make sure you obviously, so you can put your swatches in Google Drive, right? And make sure that folder put them in a folder, make sure that folder is set to that anyone can view with the link. And there's a website, I think it still works, that and that's a risky run with using something like this, but where you can actually it manipulates that Google Drive URL so that it is a publicly accessible hosted image that anybody like Amazon can pull up on a Swatch image. So that's a great little trick that somebody can find out there as well.
yeah. I have a whole methodology for this. So I say this to people. So if you, let's say you have a company and you buy a company van and furniture and expensive equipment. So they becomes part of your assets
Mm-hmm.
and they go on the balance sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they now have cash value. It's not expense. Except that when something is digital, it doesn't show up anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's digital. Except that these are your assets. They are
Yeah.
digital assets. So therefore, they have to have a specific way of managing them. So therefore, I always recommend creating some kind of a register that I call a content register, and I log every single picture in that and associate it with a SKU. And then also the way I have it set up is it immediately assigns a URL, and all you have to do is you have to put it up on the web, and again you can configure. So I'm happy to share this template, and then it's a very simple methodology, but in a nutshell, I tell people register a separate domain
Mm-hmm.
that becomes the home for your digital assets. So call it blah blah assets.com, whatever your brand name is, and then just upload them to that place where they immediately get their URL with the image name. And then, you have a list of it and you have it on the web. And to make it even better, just go take that, because it becomes a long URL. Then take that and turn it into a bit link. So
Yep.
you have a real short version of it and keep it in a register. So, I mean, managing your images are key. And people usually end up saving the same image with different names. And then before you know it, you think you have 55 different images, but they're all the same. And
Yeah.
okay, cool.